right, hola mola cola, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. Another art stream, I should specify. Yes, with Tower Tiffy. Now, today we're gonna be going back to the drawing board, and what I mean by that is just, going back to basics, fundamentals. I don't exactly have like a new plan for a new illustration today, but you see, the thing is that you don't always have to. And that's part of, especially what my drawing channel is about since the beginning. It's just always been doing like the mundane and the boring. You always see, like, if you're an artist, right, and you've been online for a bit and you've been looking up like how to draw stuff, then you've probably seen a lot of stuff that, a lot of the advice that people give, right, it's just all the ending steps, I would say, or like all the things at the end, right? But all like the beginning fundamental stuff, that's something I don't see often, especially because we have a live feature, and that's primarily when I started this channel, what I was doing. I was coming here live, just drawing, doing the basic stuff, putting shapes around, trying to understand anatomy, and just practicing and putting in the reps, right? Just because if you're an artist online looking for advice, they always tell you the same thing. Oh yeah, you gotta do your square drawings, do your circle drawings, learn anatomy and practice that, do it over and over and over, like do 5 minutes per poses, or etc, right? So they always talk about that, but the kind of content they give you, it's always like finished artwork, right? So then you rarely see this kind of stuff. So anyways, long story short, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Just put in the reps that, now again, I normally do this like a lot. As you can see, I have a lot of layers down here. For example, like these are all the sketch requests from before, but I typically like to come in on the same file and just recreate bodies and stuff. So, yeah, but today I just decided I'll just do it on the stream. And for any of you guys watching who want to see me draw like a character or something, I'll take a sketch request at the last hour of the stream, which is going to be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time specific. So yeah, so stick around, let's hang out, let's chat. If you have questions, you can always ask me a question, and for those of you watching the recording, leave a comment below if you have any questions or anything interesting. Speaking of leaving a comment below, you'll also find that there's a link to, if you're on YouTube, there's a link to another channel, which is the gaming channel. Come check me out, Tower Tiffy Games, if you want to hang out with me as I play video games. And this is strictly on Monday, just like how we do ours strictly on Wednesday. On Mondays, I play video games. So, if you want the best of both worlds, you can come hang out with me on Monday and Wednesday. But if you have a preference, come see me on Monday for video games. Come see me on Wednesdays for artwork. All right. So, now that all that's out the way, I think the music's playing already. Yeah, music probably already cut me off. I'm out of time. All right, let's get drawing. Let's just get into it. And now specifically today, I also wanted to give a hand at drawing without references. So normally, while I am putting the practice, I'm increasing my visual library, as they like to call it, by copying references on another screen, mind you, and doing that is supposed to give your brain information as you I'll draw some boxes while I talk. But yeah, doing that's supposed to give your brain information, so that way you can draw without a reference. So I want to put that to the test today, actually. I've been drawing with references for quite some time now, for like literally for like the past, I would say 2 years, maybe even 3. I lost count. I just been doing it all the time. It's like breathing water at this point. But but after all this time of drawing off a reference, I think I should be able to draw the human body without a reference if I so choose. And my tablet's already dying. Hold on, let me plug it in. Okay. So as always, if you want to draw a body, you always have to set it in a perspective, because that's just how things in our world work. And at least for me, the torso should be like a long rectangle rather than a perfect square, which I don't know why I keep doing this. Yeah, I gotta make the top part. Very let's do this. This will be the center. Wait, let's make an X here to find a center, right? This is the center. Okay. But I want to come back here. Okay. All right, and yeah, that's pretty much how you. And keep in mind, I'm doing torsos. I'm not gonna do full body, or maybe I'll do it later, because we have a lot of time today until we hit 7. But yeah, you know, you can enjoy the playlist. As we go along. Okay. And if the boxes don't make sense, don't worry, they will. You will see. Let me just kind of. I think this should be a little longer, actually. Just extend the box here.
All right.
Okay. So we've got some boxes here on the screen, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and draw those torsos. So the longer rectangle, of course, is for the rib cage, and then the smaller one's for the pelvis. And then, you know, as you know, our body likes to, you know, twist and turn, right? So I've just kind of flexed these boxes around, and now we just kind of draw. Now I'm just gonna draw the torso. So, but as always, I typically draw female torsos. So just, you know, moving forward, so you understand. I'm going to make this box wider than normal. So let's go ahead and give the practice a try. Let's go ahead and apply all this practice that I've done and see how these torsos look. There's all of my stored information from all of these life drawings, I guess we call them. Okay. Gonna draw the other leg over here. And now we're gonna fold. You know, that skin that goes around the rib cage and such, right? Now the belly button is gonna be around here. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a line in between. Actually, it should be a little lower. And because we're squishing the stomach here, you know, the belly button's gonna have like this diamond shape, right? You know, we're you know, when we squish our bellies, there's folds in the stomach. Hey, what's up, Slap Battles? How we doing? Welcome back. Well, welcome to an art stream, actually. Not even say that, but you know, welcome to an art stream. By the way, Slap Battles, since you're here, right? You told me on last stream that there was another boss after that final boss, because I did beat that boss and the game said it was over. It said I beat the game, and then it gave me New Game Plus, and I was very confused. So I don't think I want to play New Game Plus. I think I want to go back to that save out because there's like DLC for me to go through. But yeah, but I am not a fan of that boss fight. Okay, so there's a cooler boss fight after I unlock the other characters. Gotcha. Okay. And I can do that going back to my save file, right? It's not a New Game Plus specific only thing, right? Because I was just really careful not to hit that New Game Plus. Okay, got you. All right, thank you for that. All right, cool. So that's gonna be the plan for next Monday stream. We're gonna go venture into this, you know, whatever I have to do to unlock these characters, and then, you know, fight the better boss, I guess, because I was very, okay, good. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, because. Yeah, I was very not satisfied with that ending. I was just, you know, I was playing that out like there's no way this is the final boss, because they literally, you know, the whole game you're doing all this stuff as Sonic, right? And you're fighting all these big bad machines and whatever. And then they throw a planet with you and they're like, "Here, play Galactica for the last final boss." Like, you know that minigame you've been playing the whole time? Yeah, that's the final boss. And that was just absolutely ridiculous to me. Like, I was literally sitting here like, why? I actually have this person's neck stretched too. Have them stretch it over here. But there's only one hard part about the boss. It has health regen, so it'll just waste a lot of time trying to beat it. Oh, so you're saying like that's what makes the boss hard? That it regenerates its health? Would you say I might want to get Sonic's attack to level 99? That's a lot of grinding. It's like the boss before the end. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, that was the kind of fight that I thought was gonna happen until it didn't happen, and I was just so confused. Like, what's going on? And you know, I saw a lot. There was like a lot of buzz about, like, so you know, obviously, no spoilers, right? But something that I was not able to keep away from the internet. I remember there was a lot of buzz about Sonic getting a brand new form, and you know, I was expecting that at the final boss fight, you know, because it's just kind of like, you know, it was like you turn into Super Sonic and you fight all these bosses, and that's really cool. And then I'm just like, okay, well, if Sonic does get a new form, it makes sense to me, because whatever we're gonna fight is way stronger than all of these bosses that we're fighting on the islands. And Sonic needs to achieve a new power. It's a very shonen thing to do, but that's what I was expecting. And then, so when I fought that, you know, that little planet thing, and I was on that ship, and he was just regular supersonic the whole time. I was just kind of like, wait, hold on, where's my supersonic 2? Hold on, what's going on here? I felt like I was bamboozled. So I'm expecting that this other boss is where I turn into Supersonic 2. Allegedly. I'm calling it Supersonic 2 because I don't know the actual name of the form, but... Yeah, let's draw some legs here. There's only one Supersonic? Okay. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Okay, we're gonna close these legs here. And we're gonna and the body is twisting here. So let's draw some twisting arms. I'm gonna use the top part of the square here to this guy, you know, to place the clavicles, right? This I'm gonna set a little higher, and I'm gonna draw an arm here. I'm gonna draw the shoulder. And draw the shoulder here. You know, maybe this person is reaching out for something. And this will, you know, we got the little rib cage details here. Oh, hang on. Also, I'm gonna warn you, but whenever you do the final boss, it's gonna be really hard. Well, I mean, I have the game on hard mode, so you know, I'm expecting it to be hard, but you know, let's see how many. The fun part is figuring out how many tries it's gonna take to win. You know, that last fight took me a while. Took me even after you left, it took me a couple of games to finally beat it. But we'll see. I do like challenges. You know, on my channel, I recently uploaded a clip about, let me see, like biggest challenges achievement for 2025 so far. I beat Persona 3 Reload secret boss, both of them. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'm just gonna say it out loud. I beat the secret boss. If you don't know who they are, then never mind, but that was really hard. And I also beat the Fuel Reaver and Don't Starve Together with my buddy. So those are two accomplishments that I got under my belt for 2025. So if this boss in Sonic Frontiers is very, very hard, then I'm gonna go for it. And if I beat it, you know, we're making that clip, and that's another achievement for 2025. Okay, now we're gonna draw the neck here. But no head. We're not gonna draw a head. We're gonna draw the neck. We're gonna draw no head. We drew an arm, but we didn't draw all the arm. Oh no. 10 or 20, you're kidding, bro. 10 or 20 hours? No way, bro. 10 or 20 hours? I can't stream for that long, dude. And it's like, you're so much better than me at this game, so if you tell me 10 or 20 hours, I'm thinking double that. I'm thinking 40 hours. And that's a work week, bro. That's a whole work week. Like, what do I have to do? What's the prep work looking like? Like, do I really have to max out Sonic's attack and defense and his speed and all that other, like, you know, just to beat this boss? Am I gonna go on a grind fest? Actually, let me know now, because I'd rather do that off stream. You know, if I have, because I have some time on the weekend before Monday, I could do it off stream, and then come on stream like, all right, we buffed up Sonic, we're max stats, let's go beat this boss. Let's draw a stomach here, by the way. I almost forgot. I was about to move on without drawing a stomach. Which is why when you have torso poses where they twist, the stomach's a very crucial part, because you gotta draw, you know, the stomach stretching to the left and that and all that stuff. Okay, not really, but if you want damage, speed rings, and other things, you'll need all max stats. I don't know what that means, but I will take everything possible in order to get this W. Okay, we're gonna do what it takes. We're gonna do what it takes. Okay. But yeah. The only thing worth maxing out is ring capacity and damage. I was thinking that, yeah, because your rings are your health, right? Which I have not touched at all throughout my whole playthrough, by the way. I just went straight into speed. But I like that the game lets you convert all of your speed into coins, so I can always decide to just trade speed for HP, I guess, if I really don't want to be too grindy. But yeah, I figured, because defense just means how many rings you lose, right? That's what I'm assuming. Attack power is pretty important, because more damage means the fight lasts, you know, the fight goes faster. Yeah, but you'll have a hard time, because it's literally so hard that you'll just keep dying to ring capacity. Yikers. Oh no. Alright, well that sounds great. I love me a challenge. And I wanted, you know, like a fight with Supersonic where I'm like doing combos and stuff like I did the rest of the game. So this is acceptable. I accept the terms of agreements. Let's draw a stomach here. Okay, I'll see. Yeah, you'll see what I mean when you get to the final boss battle. All right. Okay. All right, so you know what? I guess I won't. So, well, I guess we'll have 2 more weeks of Sonic Frontiers, because then I'll have to do the whole character thing on stream next week. And then, you know, I'm pretty sure that's going to take the whole day. And then after that, the next week we can go challenge that boss on stream. And that will be done with Sonic Frontiers. And then I will move on to the next game. And the next game is gonna be The World Ends With You #2 on the Switch. That's what's next on the list. #2, Electric Boogaloo. Okay, now what are we gonna do with these arms? What are the arms doing? Maybe the arms are raised, right? Let's raise these arms. And let's add that pad on the back, which goes into the armpits. That's right, guys. Your back muscles go into your armpits. Okay, wait, what's that? Well, I mean, if that's you are either on easy mode or know how to do the stuff. I have been mostly lost with this game throughout my playthrough. So, and that's partially because when I first started that file, I literally played for like 2 hours, right, on the first island. And I promise you, this is not a joke. I played for 2 hours sitting down on my chair, and I fell asleep. I don't remember what I was doing on the island before, but I fell asleep playing the game. I knocked out for a bit, like for a while, and then I woke up, and you know the Switch goes to sleep and all that stuff. So all that stuff happened, and I was just like, wow. And I thought to myself, I must not like this game because I fell asleep. I guess I was so bored playing the game, I fell asleep. So then I put the game away and I didn't touch it for a while. But you know, now I'm here on stream, like, okay, let's play this game because everybody told me I should give it another chance. It's a really good game. But because I had all that time in between and I came back in, like, I literally forgot everything. I forgot all the combos. I forgot like what the stats do. I forgot like everything the game teaches you in the beginning. I just kind of forgot it, and I didn't feel like restarting the whole file, so I just kind of went with it, you know. So I did not know what a lot of things did, and I just kind of, you know, I kind of played it by ear. I was just kind of like, you know what, we'll just play the game, and hopefully I'll figure it out. You know, hopefully I'll figure it out later. At least that was the plan. But as you can see, I didn't figure it out later. Oh, hold on. The next is supposed to be here. What am I doing? It took me 19 hours to beat the first part of the game. You mean the first island? Ain't no way that first island was 19 hours. No way. Ain't no way. You must have been like goofing off if you spent 19 hours for the first island. Actually, let me draw the center line so I know where these emerge from. Okay. Okay, the entire game. Okay, cool. But not the final boss battle. All right, nice. Okay. See, that makes a lot more sense to me. There we go. It's like super stretched here, but this should be how The body looks at this angle. And we're gonna do another one. Let's go to this one here. All right, so we have, so that's gonna be the plan for next week. And then what I have scheduled for the Monday streams is that we're gonna do The World Ends With You, number 2. And then I'm gonna go back to doing the Adult Swim. So past 12 o'clock, 12 a.m., I'm gonna play a rated M game. So that's gonna be for, like, you know, adults only. Because the stream is typically open for all ages. Okay. We're gonna draw an X in this box because, you know, the way the math works, if we draw the X here, we're gonna find the center line. I just want to find where the center is and not mess it up and be accurate. So we found the center line. Now I can draw the rib cage where it splits. You know, I can do the same thing on this top box as well in this plane. This will be the center, right? So I know that the hole to the rib cage is towards the back of the center. We're gonna draw that there. And now for the front here, we literally, the point hits the bottom of the box here, but then the rest of it goes into the back. All right, there we go. We have a, while skinny, we do have a torso. And now let's just draw all the other parts into it. Actually, since I have the center line here, let me also draw the half point line, because I need that for the rib cage. There you go. Now we gotta curve that in to the shape. Okay. Now let's go ahead, draw some parts of the body here. This is, now we have a back muscle. It's gonna go all the way up into the armpit here, as I stated before. And then we got the shoulder blades, which are very independent of the rib cage. I'm gonna draw it over the rib cage here. And let's draw this arm going forward. And we're gonna cut the arm because I don't want to draw the whole arm. Our focus is just getting the torso. Now at this angle, we do kind of see the back muscles here, but then it's gonna go up into the neck. We got a neck over here. But you know what? I think I want that neck to stretch forward, because when we're typically in this pose, we're stretching our head forward. So let me go ahead and get used to that. There you go. Let's go ahead and draw that. And I'm gonna draw the arm on the other side. I'm gonna cut those arms off as well. Hiya! Alright, and now we have the front of the torso here. So let's draw that clavicle. I'm gonna have it curving into the body because it's on the top lane. Okay, and now we can go back into the hips, right? Now we're gonna get the glutes in. I'm gonna draw the thigh. I'm gonna draw up to where the knee is. I'm gonna curve this into the knee. You know, and then the knee has the foot. Why am I drawing the foot? Sorry. We're supposed to cut the leg. Hayaksh. No limbs. No limbs. And also the way this is going, we should be able to see. Well, let's draw a stomach here first. All these little abdominal muscles, and then we got the stomach here. We could draw that, you know, the little flab of fats that comes with it. We'll kind of create that shape here. Then you should be able to see the other knee from this angle. Like so. But yeah, maybe I made the knee a little too high though. Let's shorten that. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I think that looks better. But yeah, when your knees bend, guys, it's flat, like a box. Okay, you can bend your knees right now. You're gonna see that I'm right. Unless you don't have legs, then don't do that. It's typically fat, unless like, you know, if you draw like if you do noodle arms and limbs, like, you know, Adventure Time bodies, or, you know, the knee literally doesn't matter because it's just noodles, right? And of course you can ignore that, but, you know, if you want to draw a realistic knee, just remember it's flat. It's a common mistake we all do in the beginning. You know, we draw a knee and we just think it's like, you know, pointy, I guess. but no, it's a flat square edge. Okay, so we still got 2 more squares to go. Now for this square, I want to work on the back. We did the front of the body. We did it from an above view, another above view. We did a side view, kind of, right? But we're still above it, and we still see the front of the body. But I didn't draw the back, and I want to back muscles. Typically, you get advised not to practice it, at least in the early stages. But, you know, once you've done this enough times and you've memorized the other muscles in the body, then you can kind of tackle the back. So, you know, I feel comfortable enough with the front of the body that I want to work on the back of the body as well. You know, the back's pretty hard to draw. There's so many muscles in the back. It's crazy, actually. Don't sleep on the back. And your spine is like the only part of your body that doesn't heal. It's got like just like your lifespan, it's got a life bar that never recovers. Take care of your back, guys. Don't sit down for too long. I'm standing up, by the way. You should know when I'm doing art streams, I'm always standing. Okay, I have a standing desk so I can stand up and draw. So I am not sitting down. But yes, you know, sitting down for long periods of time is going to put a lot of strain on your back. You want to get up and walk around a bit. Do not sit for super long hours throughout the day, especially if you're on the older side. But now if you're younger, you can get away with it. But if you put it into practice, you're going to save yourself a lot of headaches with your back in the future. So, you know, might as well get into the habit now is what I would advise. Okay, so we're going to draw the back. And there's a shoulder blade here. Well, before I start getting into that, let me actually draw the rib cage and everything, because, you know, the back, I don't really apply full knowledge to the back because it's kind of irrelevant. And you'll see what I mean in a bit. But it does matter, it does matter. I'm gonna draw a diamond back here. You'll see this a lot in if you look up anatomy for the back, you'll see a lot of people they draw a diamond in the back. It took me forever to figure out what that diamond is, but you know, now I kind of understand what. Well, I'm gonna say kind of, because I still don't really get it, which is why I'm still practicing it. But you know, we're getting there. Okay. Okay, so I've got the bones. I've got the bone. Now I'm also gonna I'm gonna lighten it with the airbrush. So we see the structure, but I want to draw over it the actual body parts and the muscles. So there's like a flab on the top, right? This is the trapezoid. And we've got the trapezoid splits up here and it makes like this tiny little diamond in the back of our necks. And you know, there's actually no muscle there, but each side of this muscle actually helps us move our heads. Interesting in ELF. So that's a part of your head that, you know, when you go get a massage, they massage this part on the back of your neck for good reason, because you know this muscle's doing a lot of work. If you want to build this muscle, right, you can get some weights, put it on, you know, the handbell weights, put it on one hand each, and they're just like kind of shrug your shoulders if you want to build your trapezoid. Anyway, sorry, let me stop talking about nerdy stuff. Let's get to the drawing stuff. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna draw a shoulder here. I want to raise the shoulder actually a bit, so I'm gonna draw a little higher than normal. And now that the shoulder is raised here, we have an armpit. And as I said before, your back muscles actually go into your armpit. So we're gonna, and there's two folds too. There's this fold that goes under from your shoulder blade, and then there's this other one. I always forget the name of this one. This is the very long one that goes all the way into your back, and it connects into that diamond that I spoke about earlier. There you go. I'm gonna draw the other side of this, and keep in mind, like, this muscle is very big and it goes past your rib cage, right? It's over your rib cage. Like this shape, I always thought it was the rib cage, but it actually isn't. It's this muscle that creates this shape. So like, again, like from the back, your rib cage is like really, I don't want to say irrelevant. There is relevance to it, but it just doesn't feel like it helps, at least for me. Knowing where the spine line is what helps, but the actual ribcage itself, But you know, I could be wrong. I'm still studying. I'm still practicing myself. So, you know. But now, over here at the end of the diamond, you're gonna draw your glutes. But hang on, let me draw the rest of the front muscles as well, like the abdominal muscles and whatnot. Okay, so your belly button would be around here, right? So we can draw the flab of like the muscles here. And then this is gonna be the hip one. It's gonna be the hip here. And then you can just attach it to the thigh. And let's say this person is swimming. We're gonna cut the leg here. Hiya. Okay. I'm gonna have this person swim. So I now have this arm raised, but now we can like change this arm to put the arm in front as if they're swimming, right? And then this arm, we can create a dimension here. Like I said, with this muscle here. So this muscle is going to change a little. It's going to change form a little bit, but now we can actually go back here and create an arm going back. And of course, all of these change as well because they're attached to it. See, and you got somebody swimming. And yeah, the glutes connect to the back of your thigh here. And it's like this, I forget what muscle it is, but it's this muscle here. Okay, the muscle goes down here like that. And then you got your quads over here. And then you actually have like the, you know, these, I always forget, what are these called again? What are these? Oh, I always forget this one. Yeah, this will go into your knee. Anyways, I'm talking too much. Let's move on. All right, and now this box. So again, we want to work on the back. So let's draw the back here. And you know, I'm going to draw that movement line to see where the spine is. So this curve here gonna go crazy. Okay. And now let's draw that rib cage. Let's say this person is stretching. I'm gonna draw this V again. Just, you know, show you, well, to show myself where the trapezoid is at. And this is connected with the neck always. So, and since we have it raised a bit, I'm gonna put a bump here. Because I'm very cautious that, you know, when you raise your arms, your back muscles are going to kind of like do this. How do I describe this? I'm using the arrows. Hopefully you visually get it, but yeah, it's pinching. There it goes. Doing this, it's gonna pinch, and then we have the shoulder blades here. Now, because we're raising the arms, the shoulder blades are gonna go out. Okay, so let's not forget that. Shoulder blades are going out because if I had the arms going in, like let's say I had the arms going in the back, then the shoulder blades go in and then they compress at this triangle part. But we have them going out, so we're gonna have it slide away out of the rib cage. Okay. Right. And of course, let's not forget all those armpit muscles that we gotta add. And let's create this diamond. I'm gonna use that diamond to see where that muscle ends. And there you go. And now, you know, we're gonna add some flaps here because, you know, the body is of course stretching and stuff. And we can even even this muscle that comes from the armpit, this also, you know, we can also draw creases, of course, because, you know, the actual muscle themselves, like, they have a lot of folds here. Like, if I had to visually describe it, there's a lot of folds here. So our back ends up getting a lot of folds when we start stretching it like so. So just keep that in mind. I know you can't see your own back, but that is a thing that happens. Okay. And I'm gonna draw the glutes, which they go past the crotch area, so don't forget that. And then we can draw the thighs. Okay, there we go, we got it back. All right. Okay, and that was pretty much the first hour so far. So I guess I can do some more. We can do some more. So again, my goal today was to put into practice what I've learned about the body and draw from memory, draw from my knowledge rather than draw from reference. You know, so you guys can let me know how well I did, but you know, I'm looking at these and I feel pretty good about what I drew. Now, of course, you know, it's not going to be super accurate. I'm not going to sit here and say that I drew this perfect, of course, but you want it to be as accurate as possible because the idea is to fool people into thinking that they're looking at a real human body. Okay, and don't forget that, guys. We're as artists. If you're an artist, your goal is to trick people. Okay, we're illusionists. The goal is to fool people into thinking that what's in front of them is whatever you decide to fool them into thinking what's in front of them. So for example, this, you know, the idea is I want you to think this is a person out here in 2D space, right? If I want to do a face, I can say, I'm gonna do this. And if I tell you what this is and you tell me it's a face, then congratulations, I fooled you. Been bamboozled. It's not a face, it's just a digital marking of a circle. But you got the idea, jokes aside. Because a lot of us get too caught up about being completely accurate and perfect and having art that's indisputable, but that's not the point of art, guys. The point of art is expression. It's expression. And what expression it means is how you feel, how you interpret things, you know, the whole ladder. So that means there's no such thing as like, the only person that's correct is you, honestly. But what makes art fun is how, you know, allowing other people to interpret what you create, right? And then with that comes criticism. So you got to be able to take your criticism as well. Okay. Some people prefer hyper realistic stuff, and that's okay. If you don't draw hyper realistic stuff, then, you know, they're not going to care about your art, and that's fine, because we're not trying to get every single person in the world to care about our art, right? We only care about the people who care about us. This is basically the idea, guys. What am I drawing here? Okay. Well, that's gonna be a weird looking body. And I also drew that really big, so let's make it small. Let's draw some more boxes here. I got the long box and I got a wide box here. You know what? I want to play with different body types this round. So we're gonna Actually, we're gonna, yeah, let's go ahead and go off like model proportions that I've been doing. Do something like this. We're gonna have a big white box on the bottom here. Then on the top, we're gonna have a very skinny box. And let's see if we can make a human out of this or something. I'm gonna do the opposite here. We're gonna make a small box here. We're gonna make a smaller box under it. Let's break some rules. Actually, let's do it the other way. Try a different angle because I feel like I'm drawing a lot of the same angles here. We have it done at above angle here, so I'm gonna do above angle. We're gonna make the box on the bottom smaller. Yeah, you know, we'll just do these four. I'm gonna start here. Now, I just want to point this out because I always forget this. Well, maybe lately not as much, but this is something like over the weekend I was beating myself up over this. I was like, bah, Tara, what are you doing? Because it's like, okay, the pelvis is a weird thing, right? You got, it's like, bam, and then you got an edge here, but then there's an edge that protrudes even further, bam, right? And then it goes down like this. So it comes back up, right? And then they connect in the back here, right? And then, you've got like this butterfly shape here. Because then there's like these bones that come on the bottom, right? But here's the thing, right? Here's what I always mess up. I always forget this. All right. Check it out. Oh, no, we're not going to cut. All right. This part right here, when you're making the box, this is the front. This is where the edge of the box is. This part right here. And then, this is the, in air quotes, pelvis, right? But the box is always made with this part. So then I always forget about this part because this part goes higher. It's positioned way higher than the front. So like for the longest time, I've been like creating these boxes, right? And I'm always thinking that high part, it's like I'll make this shape on the pelvis, and then I'll just go to the back like that, and I won't even draw like this going past the box. I always thought that was in the box, and because of that, like the hips on, like, if I drew a person, their hips will look so weird, and I'm like, bro, I'm doing everything the way I'm supposed to do it. Why does it keep doing that? And then like I had to look at a skeleton. I was literally looking at a skeleton over and over and over. I was just looking around it like, what am I forgetting when I draw? What is it that is off? And then I realized, wait, man, when I draw a character from the side position or even from the front, I always forget that this part goes higher towards the end in the back. At least that, that's what I got off of my studies. Maybe other people do it differently. Maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm dumb. I don't know. But this was an issue that I had to address. But now that I've started addressing this, I feel a lot better with my drawings, at least. And, I feel like I'm able to make more accurate drawings. Now, and of course, don't forget there's, I didn't draw it earlier, but there's also the bone that connects your femur. Your femur bone, at least the femur bone in your legs, guys, because you have two. You have one for your arm, and you have one in your leg. So there's 4 femur bones. Anyways, but yeah. Gonna draw that here. Okay, and now we're gonna draw the buttons of bellies. Actually, wait, I want to draw this belly button different because I understand that we're squishy here, right? There's real squishy nonsense going on with the stomach, right? Stomach's here. We can add some fat to this character here, whomever she may be, and yeah. And then because all this is happening, we can create all these fats and folds that are on the abdominal muscles, right? And over here is gonna look chill because it's stretchy here. This whole part is stretch, but this whole part is squash. So we gotta squash this in. Make a halfway point on the ribcage here. Okay, and now we kind of see the top. So let's draw that clavicle bone. And let's remember that the clavicle bone is very, it's movable. In fact, I'm just gonna move this one here, just a bit higher. And then what we see here is the back muscles, which are behind the neck totally. So I'm gonna draw that first. And then I'm just gonna kind of draw what would be the neck coming out. Maybe this neck is, maybe the head is tilted this way, so we're gonna draw it like that. And if that's the case, we can actually take some fat over here on this neck and just kind of create a bump here. And remember what I said earlier with the other back? When your arm raises, it kind of pinches that muscle. This gets a little higher, so we're gonna make it a little higher as we create that. Because I'm raising this arm. This arm is being raised. And now let's put those deltoid muscles into use. Okay. And again, there's a muscle that goes into the back, outside of the rib cage. So I'm gonna put that in, and then there's a little muscle here in the armpit. And then we got the back muscle here, but then we also got the tricep that comes out here. And there you go, we got an arm. And we got another arm here. No, maybe we're gonna draw this whole arm here. Maybe, right? Maybe we'll draw this whole arm here. And we'll draw a hand. Right, bam. I'm gonna spread out these fingers. Right. There we go. Now we brought something to life here. Now if you wanted to smoothen out this neck muscle here, like honestly, you can just erase all those extra details and just not care, But maybe, maybe I would even move the clavicle up a bit more, just to fit the perspective a bit. Yep, and there you go. Alright. But we have different shapes here. I wanted to experiment a bit with the bodies, with the torsos, that was stuff. Because, you know, not everybody's bones are the same. And plus, you know, experimenting with different stuff, right? Kinda gives you the ability to create more characters, at least I would say. So let's gonna curve this here. And we're going to start off here. Over here on the chest. I'm gonna draw an arm. And you know, once again we're gonna do armpit stuff because it's important you get these reps in to remind yourself every time you draw how these shapes and these forms come about. But now I'm gonna go a little beyond here. I'm gonna create this. And then bam, and now we're gonna create a big stomach here. And voila, we got a different body type. So as long as we know where all the parts of the body like are, you know, we can always create something different, and it still kind of tracks with all the body parts, right? You know, it's a body that makes sense. And I'm gonna draw, but you know, of course, we can't forget the belly button. Can't forget the belly button. And now we also can't forget all the folds that come onto the back here. So even though we got a plus size character right here, we still gotta draw folds. For this character where it's appropriate. Okay, and let's do that again here. Okay, so we want to stay with the direction of the cube. So when I'm drawing the clavicle here, I'm curving it into the back here. And I'm able to draw an arm. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. And I'm gonna draw the legs. There you go. If you were ever wondering how you can draw a plus-size person, there you go. There it is. You just play with the dimensions of the rib cage and the pelvis. You know, you can play with it a bit to create different body types. I made, but even with like a, maybe I should have put a smaller top here because the idea was supposed to be small top, big bottom. I mean, kind of fits anyways. No, yeah, this is kind of small. Looking at it again, but yeah, let me make a fold here. But yeah, make a neck. And I'm gonna do the same. Now this one's gonna be tiny, right? Got a long ribcage here. And okay, I got a tiny pelvis on the bottom here. Okay, so that means gonna have a small, everything's gonna be super small here. There you go, there's actual muscle that comes down here. There you go. Which I'm also going to, we're gonna draw it here on the other leg as well. I'm gonna draw a stomach. And then again, we're gonna draw, well, let's do clavicle first. I like to do clavicle first. Gotta decide where the arms are out. And then we can so remember, I drew big torso, small small pelvis, right? So that means big chest, small waist. It looks so weird. But that was the theme here. Yep, and there you go. Alright. So this was all through no reference. So yeah, just applying the practice and the studies that I've been doing. Well, this is when the stream first started. But yeah. I just like to have this here as like a reminder of like all the body parts and stuff when I do actually draw torsos and whatnot, because this stuff gets pretty it's pretty complicated. Okay, so before I move on to the next part, just a reminder, guys, it does help me out when you do like the video. So yeah, hit a like if you felt like this was very informative, if you felt like this was what's the word, like, you know, it felt like you got some value out of like watching me draw and listening to me talk, right? Felt like you got some value out of the video, you know, hit a like button. Yeah, and if you want to see more of this stuff every week, hit that subscribe button on this channel. And yeah, I love you very much for that. Thank you. And you know, I hope you grow somehow, some way. And again, if you, I'm still a small channel, so take advantage of that by, you know, you can always leave a comment on the video. And you know, if you have any questions, I'll reply to it and whatnot. And again, this is an advantage you have because I'm still a small channel. Like if I ever get super big, then, you know, if I got like 100 comments a day, there's no way, right? I won't have the time to go through all that and help you guys individually. So, yeah, that's another thing. Now, engagement does help me. So I'm being transparent here. Engagement does help me. So that's what you're doing when you do comment. But like, genuinely, if you need help with anything and you have questions and whatnot, then, you know, leave a comment and I'll help you out if you have any questions and whatnot. Other than that, I also have Patreon. I also have a Patreon. That's how you can support me directly. But you know, I do a extra video throughout the week only for Patreon, and it's specifically like made for people who want to learn how to draw or people who are interested in my comic. So if you're interested in my webcomic, Reborn Daughter, you can come. Oh, I didn't even talk about Reborn Daughter today, now that I think about it. All right, well, we'll go ahead and do the shameless plug-in right now. But yes, I do have a webcomic. It's called Reborn Daughter. It's on Webtoon Canvas. You can read it for free. But there is an age lock, okay? It's rated for young adults. You gotta be at least 16-year-old because this story talks about things that are not appropriate for people under 16, okay? So, if you are in the correct age, come check out the comic. You can support me like that as well. It's free. Just read it. And hey, tell me what you think. Got a whole cast of characters there. I'm looking forward to finishing it. Currently on hiatus right now, just working on other stuff, but you know, we will come back to the comic eventually and add more to the story. So for those of you who have never read it, you have plenty to read. I did 29? I'm at 29 episodes. I think I'm at 29. Yeah, 29 episodes right now. We almost hit 30. That's a lot. So you got a lot of content to go through. If it's gonna be your first time. But yeah, the genre is romance, drama and romance. So if those are, you know, if you like rom-coms and stuff like that, maybe this is a story that you might like. So come check it out if anything. Now moving forward, we're about an hour and a half in, right? Now that I've done some drawings without reference, I would actually like to do some drawings with reference, because you still have to learn and you still have to feed your brain all of this visual information. So now I let my brain spit out the visual information earlier when I drew, you know, all of this stuff, right? That stuff that my brain understood, and it just kind of, you know, bam, gave it to me out there. But I only got this because I was looking at real bodies and drawing real bodies, right? And breaking down and analyzing real bodies. That's all a part of the process. I couldn't have done this without doing the real reference thing. So I'm gonna pull up a reference real quick, which is partially why I'm talking, because I was stalling for time. But now I have a reference. So we're gonna draw this person that I found. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do for a bit until 7 o'clock. So here's the deal, guys, for anybody watching. At 7 o'clock, right, I'm going to open up sketch requests. So what that means is that you could, you know, hop into the chat and tell me, hey, I want you to draw this character doing whatever, right? As long as it's appropriate. But yeah, it's kind of like a free commission. You know, doing all of this practicing and warming up, right? Well, there's supposed to be warm-ups as well, but you know, doing all of these reps and this practicing is the whole point of this, is so I can draw stuff, right? And there's less problems when I draw stuff. So you know, it's good practice to challenge yourself with a drawing, right? Be like, oh yeah, draw this. Especially when it's like, you know, if you want to draw and make money, right? You gotta draw stuff for other people. You can't be drawing stuff for yourself all the time. So it's a good way to really set yourself to draw things for other people. But anyways, that being said, after spending a couple of hours practicing drawing, you know, I do not mind taking a request and just drawing right here on stream for you. Because that's what makes sense to me. You know, it's like you were working out your arms and you never use your arms. It's like pointless, right? Why are you working out your arms if you're not going to use them? So it's like, yeah, work out your arms and then go lift something, right? Go lift the sofa and realize that, man, I couldn't lift this sofa before, but now I can because of all the training I've done. So that's pretty much the idea behind the sketch requests. So don't be shy, you know, drop in the chat, say hi, and let me know what you want me to draw. And also, you have a lot of time to think about that if you're going to stick around. But yeah, and I did one before. I actually have it here. Yeah, Kite came in last time and made a sketch request for 2 characters from Full Metal Alchemist, right? I have it here. So yes, you know, I'll make a layer, I'll put your name on it, and then we'll do the sketch request, and I'll refer to your sketch request when I do another sketch request. So you're kind of leaving your mark on my channel in a way. In a good way. Oh man, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Just maybe. Alright. So yes, once again, I'm drawing for reference. I made a gesture line, because that's the gesture this person is making. I'm guessing where the boxes are in perspective, which is a great skill to exercise when you are drawing. Because the thing is, most of the time when you're drawing new things, right, you're gonna use a reference. So this is very good practice because you're also training your cognitive ability to like absorb information and translate it. So, you know, I'm looking at this person, I'm thinking, okay, their ribcage looks like it's in this position, and their pelvis right here, it's looking like it's in this position, right? But now I also realized we drew this box a little too close to home. Let's drop it a bit. Now I want to be accurate here, so obviously there's no stylization, right? And that's what stylization means, for those of you who don't know. It's when you make artistic decisions that are unique to your taste, which means that you're breaking the rules, right? So here I'm not trying to break a rule. I'm trying to draw what I see in front of me. There you go. Okay, now the thighs are here. Just a note here. I always keep this in mind when I draw this part, but there is a bone sticking out of the pelvis, right? And it reaches to the end here. Well, actually in this position, the end would be here. So you also gotta think about the perspective, because I know that the plane here, this is the side plane, right? But from the front, this is at the edge. But remember that bone is there because depending on a person's body fat and percentage, like, for example, this person, like, you know, they can be skinnier over here and they can have a shape like this. And then we get this curve in, curve out shape. Okay, so you know, but people who have more fat here, it's just straight up one big curve. But some people are a little skinnier in this area, and you know, the muscle actually kind of goes in and out where that bone sticks out. Like it's weird, but if you actually look up enough reference, you'll see that you'll see hips that look like this. It'll have this part here, and then the thighs just kind of go bam. You know, they just kind of come out. And I know it looks weird the way I drew it, but you know, but that shape, you know, that is a thing, and it's because of that bone. You know, that bone is, well, that bone is relation to it because it's at the bottom of the pelvis here when it comes out. All right, it's a little butterfly thing. So, you know, so sometimes it protrudes out like that because the thigh is a whole different muscle that comes out of this bone, right? So yeah, some female legs look like this. And then for guys, you know, it's actually pretty weird, but like it's, you know, the prominent feature here is, remember when I talked about that part of the pelvis that goes up? Yeah, I don't know why, but guys, it's like, we get like this part of, like, you know, the, what's it called? I always forget this muscle that wraps around the body like this. But this muscle right here, like the fat comes out and it digs into the bone, right? And then, you know, that is just the pelvis here. And you just got like the thigh and stuff. But yeah, this is typically like a guy's pelvis, interestingly enough. And then, you know, everything here is just muscle, right? Muscle. Look at this muscular guy, you know, Dragon Ball Z character. Anyways, yeah, anyways. The silly things you learn about body and anatomy. Anyways, but yeah, those are just some consistent things that I've seen. You know, well, off a skinny guy, I guess. Most guys, we don't have that. But like I showed you earlier with these two, and I also want to point this out too. Notice how when I drew, well, these three, I guess, right? But mostly these two, because this is a bigger body. I started with the skeleton, and I started in a way where, you know, I usually do with a body like this, right? Like it's normal proportions, but then, you know, I kept in mind where all the body parts are, and I just expanded on it. It's like, okay, well, I know, like, you know, I know the stomach, right, would go down here like this, right? And then here's the abdominal muscles and stuff like that, right? I know this is here, but then, like, you know, I expanded it, I blew it up. And then that gave us this stomach here. So I bring that up just to remind you, you know, you start with the skeleton first, and then from there, you know, it's like you're building a model. It's like clay. You can just add as much as you want to. And I just have an experience back then where I worked with another artist, and they did not like that, you know, I wanted to draw a plus size character, and they watched me start, and they're just kind of like, if you're gonna make a plus size character, why did you make the model so skinny? And it's just like, you know, there's a base where we start. So I always start with a base, and then I add on everything that's special to the character. So it's kind of like, you know, most of our bodies are the same somewhat, right? We all have a skeleton, we all have a torso, we all have pelvis. At least most of us do. I don't want to say all, but most of us do, right? And that's the case. Most of the time, I'm gonna go up a bottle, and then because that's the very similar thing that we all have, right? The common denominator about every human body, we can transform and work on it. So it's like, if this character didn't have a leg, right? It's like, okay, well, I'll start with the torso or whatever, and then I just won't draw this leg. They just have one leg, and then that's it. We make the difference after we make the model. So because of that experience, I just always want to stress that part, because there are probably some of you out there that draw that think that if you're going to draw a plus size character or a very skinny character, right, then you can't start with the basic model base. And I'm here to tell you that no, man, sorry guys, but the truth is, it's a skill issue. Okay. Start off with the base, and then you can turn that base into anything. You know, there's a reason why it's called the base, and there's a reason why, you know, most artists are told to, you know, are instructed to draw, you know, specifically like fit or skinny people, because you're feeding your brain information, like where all the muscles are at, where everything belongs, and then and then you translate. That's it. It's like you learn one language, right? You get one main language, and then now that you know how to talk, you learn a new language, and you can always translate to when you can always, like, you know, talk the different language when it's appropriate and whatnot, right? You know, pull it out when you need it. Same thing goes with art. You learn the basics, and it's like now you know how to draw, right? You know how to draw a human body, and then from there you translate the different parts of the human body that you want to. Gonna put these back muscles in here into that armpit. All right, so we've got a raised arm here off of the reference that I'm drawing off of. Let me see. Okay, so this person is not naked that I'm looking at. So from this part, just by going by the shapes of how everything is, I have to make a guess here using my prior knowledge, right? So the armpit should be here according to where the folds of the clothes are at. And then the back muscle should be here, and then the tricep should come out here. Yeah. It's all making sense to me. Okay. And her muscle is popping up here, giving this a curve. And we got a curve coming back here. Right, so we're gonna close that, and then that should be where the back is. And now the neck. Is coming down here. All right. And then we've got the other arm here. See, interesting part here about these arms being raised is how her tricep is bouncing out. So you get this curve coming out. See? So this is how I'm analyzing my reference. It's like, okay, normally when I draw, right, as you saw from before, I'm not thinking about how the tricep is bumping when we raise the arm, right? I just kind of put a cylinder there, and then that's that, and I just focus on the rest of the torso body. But now that I'm drawing this reference, I'm noticing that, oh wow, look, she has a bump here because the muscle, right, is coming, it's, you know, it's being used to raise the arm. You know, that's interesting. Oh, this is supposed to be here. I had already drawn this. Okay, so there we go. We got a butt. And then, of course, the belly button would be here. Actually, no, it's a little lower. Sorry. A little lower. Okay, there you go. That's one body. So let's draw another one. Let's take off the ruler. You know, and as always, you know, my slogan from earlier was always, you know, practice, right? Practice makes perfect. So, you know, if you're an artist watching, you know, you can have me yap in the background and just draw something, you know, on your own, right? You can be doing your own practice. I mean, honestly, as a matter of fact, for those of you who are probably not subscribed that are watching, you know, if you feel like you need some motivation to put in the reps and practice, then you can always come join me every Wednesday and just practice to get, you know, well, sometimes I do illustrations, but you know, if having an artist show up and draw stuff is enough for you to get off your butt and draw something yourself, then, you know, come hang out with me and chat on the channel. And, you know, let's draw. And, you know, if you don't know what to draw, you can always copy what I'm doing. And by copy, I mean like, you know, what the activity is for today, right? Like today I'm drawing torsos, right? So let's draw some torsos. And I think it would be helpful if I'm yapping about, you know, how I draw torsos, or like, you know, tips and tricks that I'm kind of giving out there. It'll be helpful while you're drawing torsos. If you're listening, you'll be like, oh, hey, you know what? I never thought about approaching, you know, this body part like that or something, right? Because when it comes to drawing, when it comes to art, there's a lot of thinking involved. And, you know, you're probably thinking, wait, you're saying I'm stupid or I don't think enough? No, that's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I'm stupid and I don't think enough, okay? Because, you know, when I used to draw earlier, a lot of the times I was just copying what was in front of me, you know? And whenever I did draw, I wasn't really like, admittedly, I wasn't thinking. It's like, like there's like some thinking, but what I mean is like, I'm not thinking about what I'm putting down on the paper. And I hope that makes sense to you, because I don't want to learn I'm the only culprit of this, but you know, I would draw and I'll just be like, oh, this is an arm, and think nothing of it. It's just an arm. I drew an arm. The arm is done. Now let me draw a chest. I drew a chest. The chest is done. Now let me draw the pelvis, or the stomach. And I drew the stomach next. The stomach's done. Now let me draw this. And then, you know, it was just kind of like, oh, this is a body part. I drew the body part. This is the hand. I drew the hand. It's done, right? But I'm not like thinking about all the intricacies when I draw, right? So, you know, now I know over here on the pelvis that, you know, as I explained earlier, there's these two little joints that come out, right? And they connect to the femur bone. And this is what helps us. This is what lets our legs move around with freedom, right? So now I know this exists. Now I know that how the leg functions and what its limits are. Right? If I drew a thigh, you know, before it would just be like, oh, the thigh is this shape and that's it, right? But now I know, oh wait, but there's this muscle here, and there's a muscle here, and this muscle goes all the way to the front, while this one is pretty short. It actually goes over here, and then there's a muscle on the side here, and then there's a muscle here, right? And then over here it cuts to where the bone is at, and then covering the bone is the glutes, and then there's that muscle on the pelvis, right? And then there's also this small little muscle that comes around and wraps around here, and then there's this muscle that goes in the middle that's connected to that butterfly part. I know it's connected to that. That's where it comes from, right? And then the glutes also come out from under here as well. And then under all this is the knee bone, which is connected to that femur bone, right? So look at this. I'm breaking it apart, and this is something I wasn't thinking about this at all when I used to draw, right? I could do that now because, you know, I have the information in my head. I understand how all this stuff works now. So I know where all these muscles is, and I can do stuff like, you know, if I want to make this lady very muscular, right? I can be like, oh, you know what? I want her quads to be super big. So we're going to make this muscle bigger. And then thus we're going to make this muscle bigger and this muscle bigger, right? And thus it changes the shape of the leg. And now the leg is going to be this shape. And I can make those adjustments because I understand where everything is. So, you know, as you saw me drawing if you were watching me draw for the past hour, you're probably thinking like, oh yeah, he's just creating all these shapes. And, you know, he practices it. And he just memorized the shapes. And I'm telling you, no, it's more than that. Like I'm creating the shapes, keeping in mind where all these little muscles are at, right? All these parts of the body, how they work together. I'm keeping all this in mind when I draw. And you know, and I'm also analyzing as I'm drawing, right? Because I'm just kind of like, okay, well maybe, you know, oh wait, this doesn't make sense. You know, this is a little too close here, right? See, look, I'm looking at the reference right now, and I realized that when I drew this leg, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy yapping, and I made it too close, right? So we got to adjust it here. And then interestingly enough, right, this leg goes over and they connect here. And what's interesting about that is, yeah, let me continue to make this leg, because this leg goes on. Oh, the center of gravity is on this leg. So okay. Okay, now I know the two bones are here, right? I know that this is the knee bone, and I know that it is a square. And I know that when the foot is extended like this, we're gonna get this kind of box shape. So, but see now this leg over here, it's behind, right? So we actually get this shape for the knee. We get that common shape here because this bone is going to the back. Okay, anyways, but interesting enough here, right? If you read manga, here's a nice little tip for you. If you ever ink drawings, okay, when two body parts come together, and it's like the same color, of course, you actually decrease the line weight here to give that illusion that they're rubbing up against each other. I'm going to increase the line weight here and here. And you see that? Like, it looks like it's touching each other. You could even break the line, honestly. I'm gonna break it. Let's erase this to make it easier for you guys to see. Okay, see that? Interesting. Okay, anyways. Let me continue. Enough of my yapping. Okay, according to this reference, this is protruding here. Okay. And now we're gonna get a complete curve here because this person I'm drawing has enough fat here. Same thing gonna happen here. Okay, we're gonna draw the arm. See now on the photo that I'm drawing, right? Your arm is tucked in here. At least that's what it seems, right? But I know that these folds come from the back muscles coming here. This whole tuckness here. But again, she's wearing clothes, so it's like a shirt here, and it just looks like a shirt. But I know that there's this into the back. Okay. Let's move on to another. Wow, this person really likes to cross their legs a lot. Hold on, let's look at. There we go. Here's one where she's not crossing her legs. Okay. Although these are helpful because they're the center of gravity changes. So that's something I keep in mind when I draw these poses. But for the sake of you guys, at least, you know, maybe you want something different. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna make a box here. I'm gonna put it into perspective. That means the box are all gonna be going into a horizon line. Okay. Okay. Actually, no. From this perspective, I should be able to see this. Okay. Let's draw the ribcage. Alright, ribcage is drawn. Now, let's draw the clavicle here. Alright, and that's going to be the back muscle here. And that's pretty important because of the position that this person's in. Okay, now I got the deltoids. Okay, so now okay. All right. Now we got the thigh here. I got the other thigh here. And that a little too low. And the stomach's here. Belly button's there. Got the other part. Upper hip here. Got these folds here. And now the arms. Put that here. And the hands are gonna go on the hips here. I'm gonna put the hole for where the neck is. But yeah. That's a pose. That's a pose. Another one. Just keep in mind, not everything you draw has to be like a finished product. You know, I used to be somebody that, you know, every time I drew something, it had to be like amazing, right? And if it wasn't, I wouldn't show anyone, and I would just consider it a failure. But, you know, these days, now that I understand how a lot of the stuff works, I understand I have to draw a lot in order to improve my ability to draw, and making it so that everything I draw had to be something perfect limited my ability to draw. So I had to discard this whole idea that everything has to be a masterpiece, right? And just accepted that I'm gonna draw a whole bunch of things that nobody's gonna look at, nobody's gonna see. They're not masterpieces, they're not beautiful, it's just regular boring stuff. And that's okay. And it's like, I say this out loud because I just met somebody. Well, I met this person a while ago, but I've learned that they don't like drawing unless it's a masterpiece. And I'm just like, wow, you know, I used to feel the same way, but it was hindering my ability to grow. So, you know. See, just like that. I just drew that and I just deleted it. I'm gonna do it all over again. But this time I'm gonna take a different approach on it. Actually, I gotta make this smaller. That's gonna bleed into the other pose that I have up there. Okay. I'm taking a second look at this. I did not stretch this back enough. Yeah, that feels a lot. Okay, go to another one. Now we've got a side profile. Okay. And you have a side plane here. Okay. Give me 1 second. Getting dark. Gotta turn on the lights. All right. Box. Okay, so we got that back muscle again. Remember, we're gonna split the trapezoid. Okay. Now, as I said before, when the shoulder blades are going back, right? They get closer to the back, to the spine. They get closer to the spine. So that's the big thing about this pose, that the shoulder blades are both very, very condensed here. And then most interesting enough, the person is looking over here, right? So their face is like looking at us. So because of that, this muscle right here in the back of the neck gets twisted and starts to curve in over here. So we actually do not see the other muscle. Rather, the line is there, but it's because this muscle is being flexed. So we're gonna actually end up seeing that. And then the other one just behind it, like over here, just chilling in the back, this muscle. There we go. I got a pose, another back pose. And there's a back muscle as well, we can't forget that. Okay. Let's move to another pose. Cut this here a bit. Fine. Okay. let's try. This is such an interesting pose because where the center of gravity is pretty incredible. Just tippy toeing. I don't even know how she did this, but it's a pose. Okay. So, is there anyone in the audience that would like a sketch request? Speak now, forever hold your peace. So, we're gonna hang out here for a bit. I'll go ahead and leave the drawings here. But yeah, so it's about to be 7. At this point, oh god. See, the yawning there is proof that, you know, it's not exactly fun. But you gotta do the reps. You gotta do the practice. You have to train your mind, you know? Some people go to the gym and they work out and it's not as fun as they thought it would be, but they have to stay committed. They have to still keep doing it if they want to keep all of the gains that they get, the power that has increased in their body. You want to keep all that. You want all your work to not be for nothing, and you kind of have to commit to going to the gym, right? It's the same thing with drawing. You know, you want to get better and you want to stay better because it's a cognitive function. Okay, what do I mean by cognitive function? There's the front of your brain, that's where all of your cognitive abilities come from, and it's something that you have to exercise if you want to draw well and you want to get better at drawing and you want to stay getting better at drawing. You have to keep drawing. Once you stop, you will stop getting better. Your ability will decrease, etc., etc. You get the whole idea. So yeah, you know, so it's not the most fun thing to do, but you got to do it every once in a while. I'm not saying draw every day, but you should be putting in your practice, reminding yourself how the shapes of these bodies look like, and also drawing from reference brand new, so you can, you know, keep absorbing more information. Because as you for example, right, I know some of the muscles already, right, but when I'm drawing from reference, sometimes I see it in a different light and I keep it in mind, and the next time I draw something, I remember that, like I'm like hyper focusing on that one detail until like I memorize that detail, and then now that I got that detail memorized, I'm gonna memorize something else the next time I draw from you know, from reference. So it's a very important thing. So yeah, so I'm just gonna hang out here and yap a bit until it's 7, but you know, if there's no sketch request by then I will just end the stream. I do have a project that I'm working on right now, so I will be working on that until 8 o'clock instead of streaming. So yeah, so if anybody's got a sketch request, go ahead and drop it in the chat. I'll draw you whatever character you want me to draw, at least for the most part. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you felt like you got some value out of this video, make sure you hit that like button, please. That's the least you can do for me. But if you want to do more for me, if you want to support me, come check me out on my other socials. You can read my webcomic, where you see I put a lot of these skills into action. And yeah, follow me on the other socials if you just want to see where, you know, the illustrations and the stuff that I've worked on before. I usually do process videos on the YouTube channel in forms of shorts. So if you want to see the full short version, 1-minute version of the process, come check me out on YouTube. And you know, for those of you on Twitch, you know, you can hit that follow button to help me out. And you know, I'm getting to affiliate. I just need about 14 more followers and I can start dropping emotes for you guys to use. You know, and then there's also like channel points and stuff like that that I get access to. but I'm really more into the emotes rather than anything else. So yeah. Sorry. You know, and I also provided a form of like support and tips on the screen for Ko-fi, for those of you who just want to tip me directly rather than do it through the other platforms. But yeah, really hope you got some value out of today. I really just came in here and was just in a teaching mood, so I just kind of yapped a lot. And you know, these are results of my studies in the beginning of the stream. You saw the results, right? And let's go ahead and bring it up. So these are the results. This is everything I did without a reference. And then we did these with a reference. And we're just kind of applying all that practical knowledge, right? So yeah, that's basically just rinse and repeat that, and you'll get better in no time. Yeah, I gave you guys 10 minutes and I don't know what else to yap about. Well, you know, I could yap about the gaming channel. So yeah, for those of you who are not on Twitch, right? We do have, I say we, like I'm multiple people. I do have a gaming channel on YouTube. I had to split it up. But yeah, you can come check me out here if you want to hang out and play video games. Earlier we had Slap Battles here. I'm not sure if Slap Battles is still in the chat, but we had Slap Battles here, who was a part of our Monday stream this week as I was playing Sonic Frontiers. You know, had a fun time getting to the last of, you know, the boss at the end of the game. So if you want to come hang out with me and play video games, and you know, and again, and unlike I will say this for those of you on Twitch, there are a lot of people who don't like backseating. Me personally though, I don't mind it to a certain extent. So I do have rules on the Twitch page, but basically I don't mind hints, you know, like if I'm struggling and it's very obvious that I'm doing the wrong thing, you can tell me that I'm doing the wrong thing. I don't mind that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you get older and time becomes more valuable to you. So like, you know, maybe back then when I played video games, I didn't mind wandering around for 3 hours trying to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to do next, you know what I'm saying? But you know, on a stream, you guys are watching and that's part of your entertainment. So you know, if you like watching me struggle on a video game and just kind of wasting time in the game, then sure, by all means, you can laugh at me. But if you want to see me get straight to the point, then you're allowed to give me hints. I don't mind it. Just like nothing too direct, or like not like a direct answer, you know? Like let's say if I was playing, you know, Persona, right? Actually, I shouldn't say Persona, that's a rated M game. Let's say if I was playing like a Mario game, right? And I was looking for like a Yoshi, you know, don't tell me exactly what a Yoshi is, but you can be like, oh, well, you know, you're looking in the wrong place, right? Stuff like that. It's like what I'm fine with, you know? So, yeah. And I also play Pokemon TCG on Mondays too. So if you want to backseat, you know, play trading card games with me, I'm very open to that as well. Like, all right, so the Pokemon TCG Live is the only one that I don't mind answers for, obviously, because it's like, you know, it's a trading card game. It's a strategy game, right? So if I'm playing out a turn and you have an idea or like a play that I can do, you can definitely drop that in the chat. You can tell me for sure. I do not mind, you know, because in a trading card game, there is no like right answer. You know what I'm saying? And I played the game enough to know, you know, what the optimal move is most of the time. So I don't mind being open to new suggestions from the chat. But that's typically at the beginning of the stream. So you want to make sure you hit subscribe or you hit that follow button and keep notifications on whatever stream you prefer, platform you prefer, and you know, make sure you come in right when I start the stream, because Pokemon TCG Live, I always do it at the beginning. I don't do it later. So that's like very early stream. All right, so it's about to be 7 o'clock. I'm guessing nobody's watching. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream here. Okay. All right. And that's going to be it for today. I was up here for 3 hours drawing, doing my drawing exercises. Now, 3 hours is a little too much, in my opinion. So I recommend just 30 minutes is enough, honestly, especially if you do it daily. 30 minutes daily is enough practice. It is absolutely enough practice. You don't have to do any more. But 3 hours is definitely a lot. I wouldn't recommend copying what I did today. This is just purely for stream purposes for you guys. I did drop a new short of the Winter Victoria earlier today, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. The whole process video is on my Patreon though, so if you want to see how that came together bit by bit, step by step, and listen to me explain why I did everything that I did on that illustration, come check me out on Patreon. Otherwise, enjoy the short version, the 1 minute version, and more will come for sure. I'll definitely come up with more illustrations. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next stream. And as always, at the end, guys, remember your efforts will never betray you. And I'm going to go ahead and explain that just so people have context. What I mean by that is, when it comes to a skill, right? Like for example, for me, it's drawing. I practice the drawing. I'm getting good at drawing. I'm learning about drawing. I can draw, right? And that's all I want. So, my efforts are not going to betray me. Nobody can take away the skill that I just acquired for myself, right? And the only thing that's going to mess up the credit is obviously AI art. But, oh, hey, what's up, Animer and Ethan? You called me at the end of the stream, but hi. Welcome to the end of the stream. And yes, guys, don't forget, be kind to others, okay? But those are typically my two parting messages towards the end of the stream. But yeah, so before I go, Ethan, thank you for dropping by. Appreciate you. Obviously the whole video is recorded, so you can just, if you want to scroll through the stream, you can do so. Today, I talked a lot about drawing torsos and just getting in your practice and your reps, and you're getting down your basics and your fundamentals. And, we dropped a lot of tips and tricks today. So if you're interested in that, you want to go watch that early in the video, you can check it out after I hit the end stream. And if you felt like all that information was helpful, you can always leave a like, and you can share with other people that are probably struggling drawing torsos. But all right, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I will see everybody next Monday on YouTube. That's on the other channel, the video game channel. I'll see you on Monday. But otherwise, everybody on the art channel, I will see you next Wednesday for some more art. Okay, I'm out.